Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Amanda.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Kathleen.
And this is the Federal Election Edition of Beyond a Ballot, powered by DoorDash. Welcome to Beyond a Ballot. It is April 1st, and no joke, we are 27 days away from E-Day. Also, no joke, Donald Trump's long-threatened reciprocal tariffs are set to be unveiled tomorrow, throwing fresh uncertainty into the Canadian economy and heaping tons of pressure on leaders out on the hustings. Rachel Siegel, let's start with you because Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says this election can't be just about Donald Trump. But today, he says he leaned right into it, actually, backing key demands from Canada's oil and gas sector, pitching it as a way to reduce our dependence on the U.S. Talk us through this one.
I loved this announcement. And you know what? I really am aligned with Pierre on this one, that it isn't just about Donald Trump. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be talking about Donald Trump, and he did today. But obviously, there's other issues that we have in play in this country. A lot have to do with affordability. And so what he's trying to say is that he's going to be talking about affordability for Canadians and also talking about solutions to this crazy person in the White House. One of those solutions that he put forward today was in St. John's, Newfoundland. So all the way on the East Coast again today. He said that he is committing to the 5 energy sector asks that were put forward by the energy sector and committed to all the policy recommendations of that sector. The interesting thing here is that he also challenged Mark Carney to do the same, that he asked Mark Carney to come out and commit to those five asks of the energy sector as well. One of them being the repealing C-69, no new pipelines. And I've seen reports, I'm not sure if it's true, but I've heard that Mark Carney said he would not actually be repealing that. So obviously trying to position himself as a leader for the energy sector out there. One of the other big things to note for Newfoundland and Labrador, he did say he would ship LNG from Newfoundland over to new markets in Europe. So combating that line of our dependence on the U.S. For our trade of LNG and energy. Was that too long-winded today?
No, you're never too long-winded.
Oh, good.
We
okay.
love hearing from you.
I get excited about energy policy. Sorry about that.
No, I do too, actually. I like it. Let's go to Kathleen Monk now. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was in Edmonton, where he promised to ban U.S. companies from buying up healthcare facilities in Canada. What's the play here?
I love this announcement today. What do Canadians love the most about our country or take most pride in? It's our universal public healthcare system. And what a great wedge Jagmeet came out with today, because tomorrow is going to be Tariff Day or Liberation Day or Termination Day, whatever we're talking about it. And Jagmeet was like, you know what? Our healthcare is not on the negotiating table. No way, Trump, no how. He said, we know that Pierre Poilievre has been meeting secretly in the back rooms with U.S. hospital CEOs trying to bring in private healthcare into Canada, and that the Liberals sometimes turn a blind eye to privatization that's happening in Alberta and in Ontario. And he said, no. He said, Jagmeet said, listen, we have got to strengthen our healthcare system. We've got to make it universal, ensure that we don't have private healthcare creep, that we don't start selling off our healthcare centers to potentially to U.S. Buyers. And I think it's really important because people consistently rank healthcare as one of the number one concerns, up there with affordability, up there with fear of Trump. So I'm hoping that it actually kind of, spurs other parties to really think about how we can ensure that we strengthen in this time, particularly when we're being threatened by the U.S., and actually go after provinces like Danielle Smith's Alberta that is continuing trying to push the private healthcare agenda.
Amanda Alvaro, Liberal leader Mark Carney made a stop in Winnipeg. No new announcements. What's up there?
So he made his first Manitoba campaign stop, and it was I thought it was an interesting and deliberate stop. He was at Winnipeg's New Flyer Industries, and New Flyer Industries is a bus manufacturer. So really impacted by the most recent tariffs. And so he kind of made that connection to both the tariff deadlines, Liberation Day, how Canada should respond. But he also used it as an opportunity to talk about some of the announcements that have previously been made. This is strategic. This is the chance to reiterate some of the things that they've talked about, which can get overshadowed by the news of the day. So he talked about tax reductions, implementing a middle class tax cut projected to save a 2-income household up to $825 annually. He talked about the announcement that they made yesterday, the housing initiative establishing the Build Canada Homes to act as a developer for affordable housing. And then he talked about healthcare expansion, extending dental coverage to Canadians aged 18 to 64. He really highlighted these measures as affordability measures. He said this is to put money back in the pockets of Canadians and build a stronger economy.
Okay, campaign call out. I'm hearing from people that they really love this part of it. And Rachel, campaign call out for you today.
Well, I was going to give my call out to Pierre for getting rid of a Conservative candidate that didn't fully disclose something and making that decisive action, as opposed to Mark Carney, who didn't get rid of his candidate. Although I'm hearing now that a Liberal candidate was let go recently, so I can't really use that one. Instead, I'm going to give my shout out to all three parties for starting to really dive into the economy and affordability message, because as I've said on this show before, I think that is ultimately the message that Canadians are looking for. Who is going to put more money back in their pockets?
Kathleen Monk, campaign call out.
Well, mine's a bit of a negative one today. I'm calling
Kathleen.
out. I know I'm trying to be positive on this show all the time, but I'm actually going to call out Mark Carney today because he was. I'm sorry, Amanda, but he was asked about if he would consider expanding pharmacare. Right, so New Democrats, along with the Liberals in the last Parliament, implemented pharmacare. That means that women in 3 provinces currently have free access to birth control, and people who require diabetes medication have free access to diabetes medication. It's only those 2 medicines right now, but the idea was it was going to grow. And it's only in three provinces have that agreement right now. So he was asked today, would you expand that? And he basically, skated and didn't commit. And it basically sounded like he would not actually expand pharmacare. And I think that's really problematic because birth control should be free.
Amanda Alvaro, your campaign call out is the last one today.
I also agree, Kathleen. My campaign call out is going to be to Poilievre. He might get this might be the only campaign call out that I give him.
What?
So
is it a
let's
positive
mark
one?
this day in our calendars. He absolutely.
Wait. Before she gets into it, it's April Fool's Day.
Oh,
God.
Oh, no.
Okay, sorry.
Fair.
It was not even an April Fool's message. It wasn't. He did drop his Windsor-Tecumseh Lakeshore candidate, City Councillor Mark McKenzie. He dropped him over controversial comments that surfaced during the campaign. These were crazy. It's like next level, these comments. He talked about bringing back the death penalty, and he included Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on the list of people who should be executed.
Oh, no,
yes,
no.
That actually happened. Not only that, but he also said that he was in favor of public hangings. Conservative candidate said he was in favor of public You cannot make this stuff up. This really happened. He said, I think we need to bring that back. I want the public hangings because it's longer. This goes right into, I think we're going to do this topic around candidate vetting and how critical it is to vet. Now, to Poilievre's credit, he dropped him like a hot potato, but I don't know how you keep a guy like that around.
Okay, we're going to end it there for today, but we will talk about vetting coming up. Tomorrow, though, is being dubbed Tariff Palooza. South of the border, we'll be watching how all party leaders respond from the stump, the stage, and even the spin rooms. Hope you can tune in.
Thank you for listening. New episodes come out daily, and you can find Beyond a Ballot on Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. A huge thank you to our title sponsor, DoorDash, and sponsors Equal Voice, Page, and Canada Powered by Women for making this election special possible. Speak to you tomorrow.